In this episode of Operation Paris, I tried on new sprint spikes, stayed consistent with the plyometrics, whilst also refining my early acceleration, all in preparation of my competition next week, Monday. Welcome to Operation Paris, part 13.
Break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh, oh. And I ain't never gonna stop. Come on. Listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you this is as good as I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your anger is misplaced. And I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Never gonna stop. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Session of two 150s and two 250s is officially over. Box starts were just something extra that I wanted to do. I asked my coach if I could, and he said after my session if there was time and if there was blocks I could. Reason why I wanted to do them was because I've got new spikes, as I'm sure most of you noticed. I'm not sprinting in the Tokyos, I was sprinting in the SB2s. I'm not going to be competing in the SB2s, that's going to be all happening next year. But this year I wanted to try them on, see how they felt, and every now and then I'm gonna wear them to try and break them in. And you might be wondering, why am I breaking in my shoes so early? Why don't I just break them in next season? The reason why is SB2s are super spikes, different from most other spikes. Other spikes, they don't have the front part. That's like, you kind of, the way I think of it is half a tennis ball slapped on the underneath of your shoe, and it just gives you a crazy amount of bounce. A tennis ball probably isn't the right word, but you can get the point from like a visual standpoint. It's quite similar to a tennis ball, and the way you sprint in super spikes is a bit different to how you sprint when you're not in super spikes. For example, a lot of the videos that I have of me in super spikes were just a bit iffy. I wasn't fast because I didn't know how to sprint in them, which is why I always stand by the belief you earn super spikes, don't just buy them to get them. So if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend anyone getting super spikes. I've been sprinting for 3 years now, and this is even technically the first year. Next year's gonna be the first year I'm actually gonna be sprinting in super spikes. So the fact it's taken me so long to even consider myself worthy of using them should go to show that, yeah, they're not just for anyone, because the way you sprint in them is very different, specifically for the acceleration. Once you're upright, your cruising is relatively easy, there's no problems there. But when you're trying to travel out of the blocks or from nose from no velocity to velocity, it's really difficult. The first 150 that I did, I stumbled, and I remember that the block start that I did was the worst stumble I ever did. I might even show it on screen right now. The guy on my left is the person who I want to match with my block starts, and he left me instantly, and I questioned my whole life because I'm not sure if he's gotten that much faster than me or if these shoes have ruined my block start, because I came out of the blocks, I just stumbled out. I didn't really produce much power. I covered my normal 2 steps in 4 steps in the super spikes, so I wasn't used to them. And then I ended up going back to the blocks, readjusting them, moving things back and playing around with them. So I want to have my shoes broken in, not just in the physical sense, but in the sense of how I actually move in the shoes by the time I get over to my off season or next season, so that I'm ready with everything. Because I'm mainly going to be using these for block starts, which means the general training I'm going to be doing in my off season, my spikes will not be part of those. They're not supposed to be. I'm not going to be wearing them because I don't want to wear them too much and potentially get injuries, because it's much easier to injure your Achilles with these shoes than it would be with normal sprint spikes. So I'm playing it safe. You're probably going to see these more in some of my other videos, probably periodically, but I haven't removed the Pumas. I'm still competing in the Pumas. I'm still training in the Pumas, and that's not going to change for the rest of the season. You're just going to see every now and then, maybe every week, once or twice, or maybe not at all, I'm going to be pulling out the Adidas shoes. I'm going to run with them. But as I was doing the block starts, my coach highlighted a different problem, which is I'm not able to hit low positions out of the blocks. I'm not sure if I ever was, but I do feel like I'm not as low as I used to be. And my coach suggested that we bring out the Prowler sled to try and teach my body how to hit low positions and take full length strides and just time the strides correctly, using my glutes and slowly turning off my glute usage, conscious glute usage, so that I can get a really good acceleration and fly down the track, which lead us into Thursday. just did Saturday session, and it was something light, no more focus on plyometrics, and I only did 4 60-meter sprints at about 100%. I think moving forwards, now that I'm back on the track, I further refined my training session. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's going to be what my coach gives me. Our Saturday is going to be more focused on plyometrics and trying to refine anything that I was learning earlier on in the week. So on Saturdays, the main focus will mainly just be on plyometrics. And along with that, I've decided to scrap how I was going to train originally, where I said I was going to do the tests for plyometrics, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds. I've decided there's not much point in doing the 3 and 5 pound tests, considering the fact that technically the 3 and 5 pound tests are actually already in the 10 pounds. Because when I was doing the 10 pounds today, again for the second time in the week, I was thinking to myself, wouldn't I technically pass the 3 pound test if I could do the first 3 pounds before I got to 10 meters? So I kept trying to do that and I failed. But that's when I realized, okay, there's no point in doing the 5 pound test or the 3 pound test unless it's a heavy week and I need to scale down on the training volume. Otherwise, we can just do 10 pound tests. 10 pound tests again and again and again to try and reach that 40 meters. Something I found funny though was whilst I was doing the 10 pounds, I kept getting to 20 meters and I was a bit confused why. So I went to the side to look at the distances and I realized that it was actually measured out to about 50 meters instead of 40 meters. So I never got 30 meters because of that. And I think I'm still a bit tired from Thursday session because I was about not even 2 meters, but slightly shy of getting 30 meters. So I was like 2 or less meters off of getting 31 again. But the fact that I'm so high up is good. We know my baseline is 31 meters now, so we can just try and push beyond that. The next thing I want to do is get to the line after the line I just reached, which would be 35 meters. If I can get there, I know I've made a lot of progress in the bounds. But so far with the plyometrics, I have seen a lot of improvements, namely in the technique. Now when I do the plyometrics, now when I do the bounds, I'm able to get more height, more distance, and I'm slowly figuring out how to do them. Because my coach said this to me and I have to agree. To get good at bounds, you have to do bounds. You can't get good at something if you don't do it. So the fact that I'm able to do 10 bounds 3 times a week, from that one anyway, will really allow me to grease the groove, put in that work, let my body figure out how to do them effectively. And once it's figured out how to do them effectively, increase the power so that we can start to take more bigger steps. But sometimes I don't take as big of a step as I could have, or I mess up, especially when it comes to the first step, because the first step is less of a bound and more of a broad jump. In fact, it's actually just a broad jump. So I need to figure out how to do the broad jump effectively, not just the bounds themselves. And when it comes to broad jumps, I'm not amazing. I'm all right. It's passable. But we need to put in more work on that front to be good at that too. But so far, I'm liking the progress on the track. I tried to translate my Thursday session sprints over into the Saturdays with how I came out of the starts, my drive phase and my acceleration, namely from the sleds that we was doing on Thursday, where my coach was trying to get me to really drive with my glutes for the first few steps and slowly start to decrease my usage of my glutes until I'm actually able to drive harder and be further down the track. Along with that, I was trying to see if I could stay down low, because my coach says that I raise my body up too high, which is a bit of a detriment because I'm almost already upright, which again, more starts will be what I need to do to fix that. But so far I'm liking what I'm seeing and I can't wait for next week where I can put more effort into this and try and be in a better position for my competition on the 20th of May.